Going to be talking about digital planners, and there's a couple built in. This is a very short session. There should be time at the end for questions, but if not, if you do have questions, go ahead and post them in the chat, and I will get to them and post them for everyone to see. The first one that I actually want to show you is they're both from Microsoft. So they're already available to you and they're actually pretty simple to use. They can be used for you individually. They can be used for any group or any student group. It can be even individual students for differentiation. So there's a whole slew of ways that Planner can be used. And where do you find it? Go to office.com and log in with your work account. And well, let me just go back and we'll make sure that you can see it. There we go. So my icons are on the left. Yours might be across the top. So you're going to look for Planner, and it looks like green. Yeah, it's kind of a green waterfall thing. If it doesn't show up here, that's all right. If you click the waffle, the app launcher, it should show up there, and it's mostly alphabetized. If not, if you click all apps, you'll get every app that's available to you, and these are in alphabetical order. So when you click on Planner, it's going to drop you in your hub. And this is where all of your plans, whether you created them or other people did for you, that's where you're going to see everything. So let's take a quick walk. So from here, we can create new plans. There's even a place for the tasks that are located in the different planners. You can just look at the tasks that are related to you from within all of your planners. So you can just look at that if you need to. There are favorites or not, and then your recent plans as well. I'm going to go back to the hub. So what is a plan? Well, let's open. I'm going to do semester 2. So when you open and create a plan, let's even create a new plan. I'm going to click new plan. I'm going to give it a name. This time we'll do it quarter 3. And then you can add this to an existing group, which would be your classroom. So you can create a different plan for each of your classes, or you can leave it separate and then attach it to a team or to an individual later. Or if it's just for you, you don't have to attach it anywhere. You can give it a description by clicking on the options button and then click create plan. And there we go. So the way that Planner organizes is it gives you a to-do list, and it organizes it in what they call buckets. So buckets are your themes or groups. So for example, if you were teaching if your students had to write an essay, you might want to give them a pre-writing bucket, hit enter, and a plan bucket, and then a draft 1 bucket, and I think you get the point, so that you can break down larger tasks into smaller portions and assign them to the entire class, to individuals, to separate groups within your class, however you want to get these out to your students. So for example, now I've got my pre-writing, I'm going to add a task. So the first thing I do is give it a name. I have no creativity today, so I'm going to call it Essay 1. And then you're going to set a due date for that. Let's go next. And you can click Assign. And you can type an individual name or email address here. What I'm going to do is click Add Task. So it's added the task. It's not assigned to anyone yet. And when I click on, these are called cards. When I click on the card, it opens up a larger window. So I can see a number of different options here. Here's that assign again. So I could add email addresses, and you can get group email addresses from your teams. Each channel has its own email address, and you can assign that to a channel. So it puts it in the bucket. You can move it to a different bucket. It even allows people to see their work in progress or update to completed. You can set a priority, a start date if you want it to be in the future. You can type your notes here. You can even add a checklist of items for your students or for yourself if there are multiple steps, for example, that you want them to go through. You can add attachments and you can add comments. Once you add the comments and it's assigned to someone, when you click send, they get an email that they have a new comment or a new task has been assigned. So they get a notification that there's something for them to be working on. There's an ellipses at the top right. If you click on that, this is where it makes it easy. If you've got multiple classes, you can copy that task and assign it quickly to different groups, different people. So if you needed to differentiate this essay, for example, you could assign it to an individual, and only that individual will be able to see this task. Students have access to Planner from office.com, just like you do. So they can create plans for themselves, and they will see all of the plans that their teachers use. So they can come in and they will be adjusting and checking their progress, etc. So that's kind of the basics for Planner. It's really easy. Let me go back to my hub for a second. Let me see if there's anything in here. Nope. Okay, so this is one that I belong to. We've got, you can see here, there are 13 of us in this plan. I'm going to click on my completed one. I'm going to open it up just so we can see it. So this was created, and you can see that Danielle completed this. She completed it. She checked her progress. She had a checklist of things to do. And every time she changed something, a message was sent to her so that she was able to see that she had a task and that it's completed, so it drops off her bucket list, I guess you'd call it. You can also look at charts so you can kind of see how your students are doing as a whole, how your members are doing as a whole. You can see what their progress is, which bucket they're working in. Notice all of the members are individual. So you can track individual student progress. Each student only sees their own tasks. There's also a schedule. Unfortunately, right now, it's not connected to Outlook, but that is in the works. So pretty soon, I don't know when, hopefully in the next couple of months, you will be able to, when you add a planner task, it will actually be posted on the person or the group's Outlook calendar so that it shows up all in one location. They're working on that. It's just not there yet. But anything right now in the Planner app that you do assign will show up in the schedule. If I click on the ellipses next to that, we can even have chats. It'll take us to a chat page. So if this is a group assignment, it opens up in Outlook because all of this is actually connected through Outlook. There's my group. It should have taken me to chat. Let me see if it will now. Maybe, maybe not. Now there's the planner. So it gives me my group up here. I can send an email to this group. There's group files. Here's our group calendar. There's a OneNote. There's that planner. Here's our SharePoint site. So I can have a conversation here. I can use this group and communicate directly with my group through Planner. So that is basics of using Planner. It's actually really easy. I like it because it is so streamlined. Again, you can assign tasks to individual students. So only John, one of my students, he's the only one that's going to see anything I give to him in this planner. None of the other students know. So perfect for differentiation. The second one is a list. It's lists. It's brand new. And let me get there. Go back to Office. list is new. It's only been out a couple weeks actually, and I find that I love it. So it's kind of a rainbow box. Again, it might be at the very bottom of your icons or the very end of your icons. Again, if you don't find it, you can use the app launcher, and it will dump you right into kind of like the planner, a hub. And it's showing my recent lists, and it's really easy to use. The first thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you how this works. There's templates. I'm going to click plus new list. And then I have some choices. I can build my own list. If I have an Excel sheet that has kind of a progress tracker or something, I can import that. I can copy an existing list. But here are some templates that might be useful. And they're adding more. Again, this is brand new, so there's very little here, but it's building. So I'm using right now the work progress tracker. If you click on a template, it gives you a preview of what it's going to look like. So you can decide before you create it if it's got what you need. The great thing with this though is you can customize it. So if it's not titled the right way, you can change anything you want. So in this, it's going to have the item that is to be done, a description of that, some kind of category, the progress, a priority, start and due date, and assignments, and then who it's assigned to, and then notes. If I click on content scheduler, it looks a little bit different. You have the title, description, and author status. So each time it gives you some different information that you can use. I'm going to use the work progress tracker, and I'm going to click use template. So then I just need to give it a name. I can describe what this is about. I can give it a color. I can give it an icon, and then I click create. And it's going to open pretty much a blank screen. From here, here are those descriptors. I can move them around, not here, but I can move them around. I can change the way this looks. I can move it left, move it right. I can hide it. I can add a new column. I can edit it, and that's where I can change the name. So if the name description doesn't work for me, I can make this my own. I can do whatever I need, and I can add more columns or hide more columns. So to add an item, I can do this one of two ways. I click plus the new button, and it's going to open a place for me to type in what I'm working on. So let's say I have a webinar, and I'll describe what it's about. It has some built-in categories. They may or may not work. So if it doesn't, this one it does. I'm going to call planning. It won't let you create your own yet, but they're coming. You don't have to give it categories. You can delete that. And then you choose what your progress is, give it a priority, enter a start date and an end date, and then assign it to somebody. It could be a name. You could enter an email address. You could enter a group, a team, a channel, add some notes. If you have attachments, you can add attachments, and then you click save. You can also edit in grid view. This allows you to do just very quick typing into the boxes kind of editing. I want to show you what it looks like, one that's been kind of used. So this is my to-do list. So this is what it looks like being used. So green is good, yellow not so good, red is bad. So I can color code, and I can sort each column. So if I want to sort by progress, ascending, descending, I can do that. I can sort by work item. I can sort by due date. Let's do older to newer. And it will sort for me. So I can look and view all of my to-do projects in this case and see what needs to be worked on. And again, this can be a list for you personally, things that you need to get done personally. This could be for your students. This could be again, using that essay idea, this could be the steps involved in writing that essay or completing that project, doing that lab, whatever it is, you can build it into a list. And because it's customizable, if the template doesn't exactly fit, it's okay. You can change it to make your own. You can share this with others. You can give people access to edit it or just view it. You can export to Excel so that you can look at it on a spreadsheet. I don't use Power Apps and Automate. I need to, but I don't think that way. So it's been hard for me. So if you use Power Automate and Power Apps, more power to you. I'm still learning, but you can, which it automates some repetitive tasks. There are some things that you can do. Again, you can sort, you can decide how you want to list these items out. You can filter and look at specific things. I would think with this small amount, it's not that big a deal. But if you have a large list, you can filter, you can sort, and you can view it in different ways to help you. So again, Planner can be used, I think, more easily with individual students. If you need to use individual students, students have access to both. So they can use Planner for themselves for homework assignments. You can use it again to organize yourself and group items into buckets. And I think lists is just a little bit more in depth, but it is brand new. So those are the two that I really like, and they're very easy to use. Did anyone have any questions? This one's a little bit shorter session. Derek shaking his head. Awesome. Okay. All right. So I want to give you one more time. Oh, there we go. My contact information. If you ever need anything, let me know. And I am here to help. And if you are on the Microsoft Educator community, awesome. You can start earning your points and badges. I'm going to stop this recording real quick.